what we are going to be talking about here. And we just did some of the teacher organization templates, so I'll click on those again. We did the flippity.net, great resource that you can use. There's a random name chooser, there's a Mad Lib creator, mix and match template, spelling words. So there's all these different templates in there. If you want to see all the docs that are in your Google Classroom folder, there's a template for something called List the Docs. When you switch semesters here coming up, and January, let's say you want to take your whole roster of students that are in your Google Classroom and get them into a spreadsheet. Instead of you typing in their first name, last name, and their email, you would use an add-on that is called Roster Sync Teacher Edition. And once you launch that, it's going to ask you where you're going to sync it to, what course in your Google Classroom are you pulling it from, and then also it's going to sync directions. So do you want it to go from classroom to the sheet, or do you want to type it in from the sheet to the classroom? Most likely you want to do classroom to sheet. So that's just an extra add-on that you could use too to get all your kids' names in a list, and then of course you can sort them by last name under the data part there, so you can do that. So those are all the teacher organization ones. I'm going to move on to something a little bit different. So I'm going to go into language arts now and go into that folder. And in here is a whole slew of templates. Now, if you ever want to search for something within your drive, once you add this folder to your Google Drive, you can search up here in the top window and search by something in particular or a keyword that you're looking for, so that way you can find things quickly. You can also do Control F, and that brings up a little search window up here where you can find things that way as well. So you've got two ways to search. I'm going to go into here. I have some templates that are separated a little bit by grade level, and then I did the early ed one. So I'm going to go into the pre-K to K folder, and I'm going to go into, actually I'm going to go into one of these hyperdocs here. So actually not addition to 10, we're going to say color words. So sometimes you may think, okay, well, where do I start with a template? A template could be anything. It could be a Google drawing that you want kids to manipulate and add things to. It could be a document where they're going to be adding in information that they find along the way. Or I've been using a lot the Google Slides as a template, which will let you add anything you want to onto the slide here, and then allow students to drag and drop things onto the slide, so that way they can do the activity. So you can kind of see here on this one, if I try to click on the word red, or if I try to click on the word orange, you notice that I'm not able to move these. This is something you definitely will want to do with younger students and even the older kids too. You don't want them to drag and drop around your template that you've made. So you want to like glue all this stuff to the background. So this is how you would do that. I'm going to go back into here. I'm going to create a new Google slide. And first thing, I always give it a name. So I'm just going to say, we're just going to call this Gingerbread Man. Okay, so we're doing a study on the Gingerbread Man stories. I've got my title slide. I can leave it blank like this. I can add a background to it if I want to. I can change the layout, the theme, and the transitions. For the sake of time right now, I'm just going to pick a theme. I'm going to call it Gingerbread Man, and we can make it fancy afterwards. And then usually I put a spot on here because if each student is going to get a copy of this template to use, so that way they can manipulate it, I always add a spot in there for names so they know that when they go here they just double click and then they can type their name on that slide. Okay, so now the next part is creating the template. So you're going to go to the menu up here that says Slide and go down to where it says Edit Master. So you have all your different templates and things that you can pick from on the left here. I'm just going to start with the blank one. And the first thing I'm going to do is add a background to it. I can make it a color. So I could say done if I want it to be yellow, but I don't want it to be yellow. I actually want it to be a picture. So I'm going to say, let's make that transparent or white. There we go. And I'm going to choose an image. So because I'm talking about gingerbread, I'm going to do a search for a gingerbread house. Okay, so now these are elaborate real-life pictures. Now if you want something more cartoon-like, you may say gingerbread house cartoon or comic, and that hopefully will find some things that are like drawn, as you can see here. Let me try comic or outline even. That one didn't bring it up. There we go. Perfect. So I want to use this one because it has white around it too. It's not going to put a square there. So I'm going to say select, and I'm going to add that. And let's hope that it works. Let's try it again. Done. And if that one doesn't work, we'll try this one for the time being. There it is. Perfect. Okay, so here is my gingerbread house that I have right now. And I have it as my background, so it just automatically puts it there. I can't move it around right now. So let's say I want to have the kids move characters into that gingerbread house. I could add, text on here if I want to. I could add shapes on here if I wanted to, and I could even add other images if I wanted to. I'm just going to leave those off for right now, and I'm going to click the X, because now when I go up here to add a new slide, I'm going to click the drop down arrow, and down here where I made my master is going to be my template that I can't have. The kids won't be able to move that object around. It's set there in stone. So now I want to add some things for the kids to drag onto here to maybe retell the story. So now I'm going to go up here to insert an image, and let's look for some of the characters. So let's look for